Hello and welcome to ChriSTEAM. Since I know so many of you are now doing schooling from home, I thought it would be helpful to make a video on how I organize all of my work from week to week and how I don't miss an assignment or a deadline. So in this video I have two different methods. One is a daily kind of block schedule, and the other one, which is what you're seeing on the screen right now, is how I organize the assignments for the week and make sure I get everything done by the time it's due. So first is the block scheduling, and I do this typically every night before I go to bed for the next day. So I kind of lay out a schedule based on what I know I'll have to do and how long I think my classes will take me to do. So if I know that I have science the next day, then I can set in a block for that the next day. So I start by just picking a font that I like and making it about size 14 or so. And I try to make it kind of aesthetically pleasing, just so that it's something that that I'll want to look at and that I won't get frustrated with. Because if you make it something that you don't want to see, then you're not going to use it. So I have a 4 by about 12 table, and I separate it into the time that I'll be doing it, what the task is, and then some more details in the third column, and then completion or done. And I just kind of shorten these a bit, just because you obviously don't need that much space to write the time or to put a little check mark, which I'll show you in a little bit. And as always, I like to center things. So the task section is mainly for just a short task. So if you're doing science, that's all you need to write there. And then you can put more details over on the inspiration and details section. So that way you can just look down the task line and see basically what you're going to need to do. So this is just a sample that I came up with for what a day might look like for me. If I don't have any specifics to write, sometimes I'll give myself a little bit of inspiration to just give me a little push to do something well. For this section, this is whatever personal thing you want to do. I definitely, since we have so much time at home now, I would definitely recommend setting yourself some time that you can do something that you enjoy, whether it be drawing or, for me, making YouTube videos or planning them. You could be practicing your instrument, doing science, playing with your siblings, going outside, whatever it is. So for the done, I like to use one of these check marks. There's a few different options. I think I'll do the green one for today. And then throughout the day, as you complete your assignments, you just have to copy and paste the check mark. And this just makes it when you go to look at it, it feels like you've accomplished things, which you definitely have. And so it's a good reminder that you did that and it's done. And then at the end of the day, you can just delete it all and set up for the next day. So I know that some schools have office hours or times that their teachers are online and the students can kind of go and check in or ask questions, or you might have a scheduled class. So at the top of my daily schedule, I just put that as a reference so that when I'm making my schedule, I know what the times are and I can just fill it in. So for this, I need a 2 by 7 just because of how many classes that I have. And it just really depends on how many classes you're taking. So if you're only taking 6 classes, then you only need 6 different rows. So put all of your subjects on one side and then the times that the class meets on the other side. And if your class meets multiple times a week, you can just put a comma and add in the next time that meets the word during the week, So I would just fill this in with the rest of the classes. And I like to shorten it just to keep it very condensed and easy to look at so there's not a ton of blank space. So this is what I do day to day, and this is what I use to keep myself organized for the day. The other document that I'm going to share with you guys today is how I keep my weekly assignments organized. And for this, I use a slightly larger table that has all of the days of the week. So I start similarly by picking a font, and I like to choose the same font for both of them just so that if I'm going back and forth organizing, it's all nice and consistent and aesthetically pleasing. And we're actually going to turn this document horizontally. So in order to do that, I'll show you in just a second. You're going to go to File, Page Setup, click Landscape, and you can even change the margins, which is how much space is left at the sides of your page. So I like to do it to 0.5 just so there's a little bit of space so it doesn't seem too much, but it also kind of pushes it out a bit so there's more room to type. I always like to darken the top because I'm not going to be typing anywhere in there and it just makes it look a bit more clean. You're welcome to leave out Sunday or Saturday, but I do have assignments that sometimes spill over into the weekend or long-term projects that are due the week after, so I like to have a Saturday and Sunday slot just so that I can keep organized over the weekend. I would recommend putting these in order of the subjects that you would do on a daily schedule if you were still in school, because that way you don't have to add that as another column in your table. If you don't have a class on a certain day or you don't have any work, you can just write no class or you can leave it blank, whatever you want to do. I like to keep these pretty short because it's really just something to kind of jog your memory. So, for example, finish worksheet. If I know that this is for my science class, then I know, oh, it's the worksheet that my teacher posted this morning. So then I can go and look into the specifics of that worksheet on the classroom post. Because if you spend so much time putting in every single detail into every single thing, then there goes like an hour of your time and you could have had an assignment done in that time. So keep it very simple just to remind you of what you have to do. And if you know that you're going to get an assignment on a certain day, then you can just say assignment to be determined or TBD, so that it reminds you that you will have work to do that day, but you don't exactly know what it is quite yet, but to just keep your schedule available to do something that day. And if you have a long-term project such as a presentation due, you might want to split it up into different sections. So a little bit later I'll add in something onto Sunday where I have to finish up 2 slides of that biome presentation. So then Monday's work is just to finish editing it and making it look nice, and then on Tuesday it's due. And depending on what day of the week it is, I like to highlight that day. So this is everything that I would have to do on Monday, and I highlight Monday in yellow just so that it catches my eye and I'm drawn there and I know that that's what I have to do on Monday. And then once I've done a task, I highlight it in a kind of a darker color, so that way I know that it's done and my attention is drawn to the lighter things, which are the things that I don't have to do, or that I still have to do, sorry. So on Monday, I still have to finish the worksheet. So just like I said, for Sunday and Saturday, you might just want to put in things that you just want to get done over the weekend so that you don't have as much work to do during the week. Kind of just helps you to get ahead. But if you don't have any work in other subjects, you can just fill it in as gray, which is a really nice way to remind yourself to just go outside and live your life and don't worry about anything because you don't have anything to do. I would definitely suggest using copy and paste to your advantage, because if you have an assignment that you get on Monday and it's not due until Wednesday, instead of typing it all out in every single slot, you can kind of just copy and paste it. So this is what my finished kind of mock schedule might look like. You can see that I have all of my blocks filled out. Even if there's no work to be done, I have that there just so that I'm not left kind of confused. Do I have anything to do there? And I just mark those as blank because I don't need to be like drawn there. If you have a weekly assignment, and let's say this isn't due until Friday, but I finish it on Wednesday, you can just mark Thursday and Friday as done. And I like to use the highlight color that's right above the bright yellow. What I'm showing you right now is that as the deadline gets closer and closer, you want to change that. So Wednesday, tomorrow, and then today, that way you remember when it's due. So these are the two different types of organization methods that I shared with you today. Their links are in the description below, so if you would like to go and save yourself a copy to use for school or for work, these really will work for whatever organization thing you need to organize, I guess. I hope everyone is doing well, and I hope you have a great rest of your week. Be sure to share this video and leave a comment below for future videos you'd like to see. I love hearing from you guys, and I love all of your wonderful ideas.